Viewing and downloading files. Once a file has been uploaded to the service, you can preview the file if it's in a supported format and edit the file information. Take a look in the help guide for a complete list of all video, audio, and image formats that can be previewed within the service. To preview one or more files associated with a case, first open the case from the latest activities section of the home page or find the case in the search section and click on it. In the Files section of the case, all the files that have been linked to the case will be shown, with a preview thumbnail if available. If a video file does not have a thumbnail with a play icon over top, the file may still be processing after it was uploaded. For cases that contain a large amount of evidence, you may have a lot of files to go through to find the one you're looking for. In the section header, there's a search field you can use, and you can also limit the list based on the type of file you're looking for, as well as change the sort criteria and direction. To better organize the case evidence, folders can be created within the case, and files can be moved into these folders. Click on the plus icon in the Files section and select Create Folder to add a folder in the Files section. To move files into the folder, either put a check in the box next to the files you wish to move, and then click on the Move To button, or click on the menu icon for the individual file and select the Move To option. From this menu, files can also be downloaded, renamed, or unlinked from the case. With multiple files selected in the Files section, you can also use the Download or Remove buttons to save the files to your machine or unlink them from the case. Click on a file to switch the window into preview mode. There are three sections of the screen in preview mode. The main section in the middle is for displaying files. Below that is a section with playback controls and options, and a timeline for each file being shown. Finally, the right side of the screen shows the files that have been linked to the case that was being viewed. On the top of the preview screen, there's a button to exit preview mode and go back to the case, and a drop-down menu to choose how many tiles to display in the main viewing section. The file you clicked on will automatically be loaded into Tile 1, but if you change the layout to display more than one tile, you can add other files to the empty tiles, or overwrite what is in the tile. The easiest way to do this is to click on the file in the file list. If there's an empty tile, it will put the file there, otherwise it will start to overwrite the contents of the tiles, starting with the tile after the most recent one populated. Another way to view a file in one of the tiles is to click and drag the file from the Files section into the tile of your choice. Finally, clicking on the menu button next to a file in the Files section brings up a pop-up menu where you can add the file to a tile from there. This menu also has options to view the file details, download the file, move the file to a folder, and unlink this file from the current case. Video files have a few other options, such as downloading the converted MP4 file and redacting the video, which allows us to blur or block out parts of the video footage. In case there are a lot of files associated with this case, our search and sort options are still present above the list of files. Hovering over a tile with video in it will bring up a few action buttons on the bottom. The first is the volume control. Hover over the icon to bring up a slider and click anywhere on the slider to set the volume to that level, or click on the volume icon to mute and unmute the audio. On the other side of the bar is an icon to display the video in full screen mode, which takes up the entire screen space. Click on the icon in the same place to go back to tile mode, or just hit the escape key on your keyboard. Next to the full screen icon is a button to save a snapshot of the video at the current time marker in PNG format. This snapshot is automatically added to the case you're viewing, but it is also available when looking for files in the search section. Each occupied tile will have a menu button as well. From here, the file can be removed from the tile, downloaded, or the file details can be viewed in a new browser tab. Video files will also have the redact option here, and either the original file or the converted MP4 file can be downloaded from here. One last thing that can be done within the tile, either on a video file or an image, is zoom in and pan around. Just hover the mouse pointer over the tile you want to adjust and use the mouse wheel to zoom in and out. Click and drag on the image to pan around. Below the tiles are the playback controls and the timelines for any files being displayed. Images will be shown here as well, but will not have any time bar next to them. In the playback controls, the first icon is to start and stop video playback. This can also be done by clicking in a tile that has a video file. Next to that are the controls to back up or advance by one frame in the displayed video. In the middle of the section there is the elapsed and total time. This can either be a relative or absolute time. Relative time will start the video at 0, and the total time will be the length of the video clip. Absolute time will show the exact time of day the play marker is at, and the total time is the time at the end of the clip. On the right side there are buttons to change the playback speed, switch between absolute and relative time, synchronize the tile playback, and show or hide the map tile. The map tile will show a pin for each file location, and if any GPS data is associated with a video, that will be displayed as a line on the map as well, including a point to show the location at the current time. Note that activating the map mode also shows the pin colors next to the file names in the timeline below, so you know exactly which one you're looking at. The map uses the normal Google controls, such as using the mouse wheel to zoom in and out, and clicking and dragging on the map to pan around. In the timelines below, there's an audio icon for each video file that can be used to mute individual files, or everything can be muted using the icon above the list of files. Click anywhere in the time range to reposition the time marker to that time, and the tiles above will update to show the video at that time. From the preview mode within a case, the file data can be viewed or listened to, but if we want to know more about a particular piece of evidence, we need to look at the file details. There are 3 ways to see the file details for any file in the service. From preview mode, the file details can be opened in a new browser tab either from the tile menu or from the menu next to the file name in the file section on the right. Going back to a case, the View Details option is also present in the menu next to a file in the case's file section as well. The third way is to use the search section and click on a file from here. From the file details, you can see a preview of the file if it is available, and see information about the file that was sent, such as the file name, the size, who uploaded the file, and when it was uploaded. The preview window will bring up the same controls that we had seen earlier when previewing a video file from the case, such as downloading the file or switching between absolute and relative time. If the location is given for the video, you can add a map tile next to the preview tile. This button will be grayed out if the location has not been set. In the General section, you can add a description of the file if needed, and the start and end times of the file if it's a video, or just the date and time associated with the image or other file type. A file can be directly assigned a category by using the menu button below the Date and Time section. Categories can be assigned retention periods in the Configuration section under the Retention Policies tab. If a retention period has been set up based on the file source or category, this will affect how long the file is kept on the service before it is automatically moved into the recycle bin. If a file is associated with a case, the category assigned to the case is used by the file if one has not been directly set within the file properties. Under the associated cases, you can add or remove the file from any open cases. Tags can be used to help find the file if needed. Add any one-word keywords that can help identify the file when searching. If there's no location information included with the file, you can set a location by typing in an address or opening the map and clicking on a location. Click and drag to move the map, and use the plus and minus or the wheel on your mouse to zoom. Searches can be done from within the map window as well. Once a location has been pinned on the map or an address has been entered, the geographic coordinates will be shown under the location. If there are any custom fields that have been added to your service, you will see them below the location. The scheduled deletion date is listed next, which takes into consideration the retention periods for any categories of cases the file has been associated with, the source of the file, and if it has been manually assigned a category. If multiple retention periods are applicable for a file, the service will choose the longest retention time. In case a piece of digital evidence is particularly important, you have the option to protect the file from deletion using the checkbox at the bottom of the General Information section. When editing a file, you can choose to delete it as well. Click on the menu button on the top right of the page and click on Delete File. This will move the file into the recycle bin until it passes the retention period for the recycle bin, at which point it will be purged from the service. The delete option is only available if you do not have a checkbox in the Protect from Deletion option in the General File Information section. To download a file that you're viewing, click on the download icon on the top right of the window next to the file name. Your browser will proceed to handle the download from there and prompt you for any information needed or show the download status. The prompts and file handling procedures vary depending on the browser used. While viewing a case, you can also download one or more files from the Files section. To download an individual file, click on the menu button next to the file name and select the Download option. For multiple files, put a check in the box on the top left of each file you wish to download, and click on the Download button below the files list.